Charismatic, talented, and undeniably handsome, Paul Newman was more than just a Hollywood legend. He was an actor, a philanthropist, a race car driver, and a man who left an indelible mark on the world. Today we'll explore the life and curiosities of the one and only Paul Newman. From his iconic roles to his incredible humanitarian work, let's dive into the story of this extraordinary man. Born on January 26, 1925, in Shaker Heights, Ohio, Paul Leonard Newman was the son of Arthur Newman, a successful sporting goods store owner, and Teresa Fetzer Newman. Growing up, Paul was more interested in sports and acting than academics. After graduating from high school, he briefly attended Ohio University but was expelled for unruly behavior. During World War II, Paul served in the Navy as a radioman and gunner. Although he never saw combat, his time in the military shaped his discipline and work ethic. After the war, he studied drama at Kenyon College and later at Yale University, where he honed his craft. But it was at the Actors Studio in New York City where Paul truly found his calling, studying under the legendary Lee Strasberg alongside peers like Marlon Brando and James Dean. Paul Newman's breakthrough role came in 1961 with The Hustler, where he played the charismatic pool hustler, Fast Eddie Felson. His performance earned him his first Academy Award nomination and established him as a leading man in Hollywood. But it was his role as the rebellious Lucas Jackson in Cool Hand Luke, 1967, that cemented his status as a cultural icon. That famous line, "What we've got here is a failure to communicate," is still quoted today. Paul's ability to portray complex, flawed characters with depth and humanity set him apart. He wasn't just a pretty face. He was a powerhouse actor who brought authenticity to every role. Off-screen, Paul's life was just as fascinating. He married actress Joanne Woodward in 1958, and their marriage lasted 50 years, one of the longest in Hollywood history. Paul once joked, "Why go out for hamburger when you have steak at home?" referring to Joanne. Together, they raised 3 daughters and supported each other's careers, both on and off the screen. Paul and Joanne's partnership was unique in Hollywood. They often collaborated on projects, including the film Rachel, 1968, which Paul directed and Joanne starred in. The film earned Joanne an Oscar nomination and showcased Paul's talent behind the camera. Did you know Paul Newman was also a professional race car driver? He discovered his love for racing in his 40s while training for the film Winning, released in 1969. What started as a hobby quickly turned into a passion. Paul became a competitive driver, winning several championships and even racing at the 24 Hours of Le Mans. His passion for racing was so deep that he once said, "Racing is the best way I know to get away from acting." He even co-founded Newman Haas Racing, a successful IndyCar team, proving that his talents extended far beyond Hollywood. Paul Newman wasn't just a talented actor and racer, he was also a generous philanthropist. In 1982, he founded Newman's Own, a food company that started as a joke with homemade salad dressing. The company donated all its profits to charity, raising over $600 million to date. But Paul's generosity didn't stop there. He also founded the Hole in the Wall Gang Camp, a summer camp for seriously ill children. Inspired by the joy and resilience of kids facing life-threatening illnesses, Paul created a place where they could just be kids. The camp has since expanded to multiple locations worldwide, continuing to bring joy to children and their families. Now let's share some fun facts about Paul Newman. He was colorblind, which made acting in front of green screens a challenge. He turned down the role of Butch Cassidy multiple times before finally accepting it. The film became one of his most beloved works. He was an accomplished director, directing films like Rachel in 1968, and The Glass Menagerie in 1987. Paul Newman was a lifelong Democrat and actively supported civil rights and environmental causes. He even turned down a role in The Godfather because he felt the script glorified violence. Paul Newman passed away on September 26, 2008 at the age of 83, but his legacy lives on. He won an Academy Award for Best Actor for The Color of Money in 1986, received an honorary Oscar in 1986, and was celebrated for his humanitarian work. As he once said, "I'd like to be remembered as a guy who tried to be part of his times, tried to help people communicate with one another, tried to find some decency in his own life, tried to extend himself as a human being." Thank you for joining us on this journey through Paul Newman's incredible life. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more stories about the iconic people. Who should we feature next? Let us know in the comments below. And remember, as Paul Newman once said, if you're playing a poker game and you look around the table and can't tell who the sucker is, it's you. Until next time, stay inspired.